Hey, it's Bill, and you're tuned in to Three Questions and a Song, episode number 94, where the title of the podcast says it all, except it really doesn't. With me tonight are the members of Drown the Deep, and in a moment, I will let them introduce themselves to you. There, now they're all up on the screen. Could you each tell the listeners who you are and what you do in the band?
I'm Jahala. I'm the singer for Drown the Deep.
I'm Regis, the guitar player.
Wayne Jones, the drummer.
And I'm Nate. I play bass.
Thank you. So this cliche question does not count. You're going to hear me say that a couple times. Where did the name Drown the Deep come from?
It was a name that I had for some stuff that I had started writing. And Reg and I were the first ones who started working together on the songs. And basically, I ran it by him and said, "Hey, are you cool with this name?" And he said, "Yep, all good." And so we've been running with it since.
Yeah, I've never asked anything more about it, so I liked it when I heard it, so it's all good.
Also, in the background for the people that are on the video, is you can see part of the cover art of their upcoming album. Do you want to give a little information? I know that one song released a few days ago, and the other one that we're going to play is releasing on the 17th. Is that correct? Oh, you have the hard copy in front of you. Nice.
Yeah, we just got them in a couple days ago. So brand spanking new from trying to get not the glare.
Yeah.
But
there's a nice reflection of us on there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're having a release party for it?
We are, yeah. So our first single, the title song off the album Black Sun Drive, released on streaming March 3rd, and our second single, Highway, is releasing March 17th. The full album will release on streaming April 7th, but on April 1st, that will be everyone's first chance to get their hand on a copy of the CD at our album release party at the Bridge. And we're selling VIP release bundles, so you get $5 off the ticket and $5 off the CD if you buy that. Only $20 for both.
I have not been to the Bridge yet, but I have seen some cool photos from there and heard good things.
Yeah, we played a couple shows there now. It's a nice venue.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, they're great people.
Cool. I actually, on the last PA Rock show, I had Storms Within from Erie, and they had just played there, so I asked them about it. So, all right, so let's get into the oddball questions that I ask. So this one is another one that doesn't count because it's the official Build a Scene question, and that is, who's your Dave Grohl? And by that I mean, who do you want to go up on stage with and play one of their originals?
I know Nate's got an opinion.
I don't know who it would be.
Right, then I guess I'll go first. I would say Halestorm.
Okay. Any particular song?
Not really. I love so much of their music, and they always put on an awesome show, the shows that I've been to. So one of my big influences, a band that I would love to play with someday, and playing a song with them would be amazing.
I was just thinking I'd have to do the Deftones, maybe the song My Own Summer.
Cool. Wayne?
I would have to say Van Halen or the Doors. I know Nate hates that, but you know.
Well, he said he doesn't have an answer, so he doesn't get a vote either.
It would. I'm the oddball too, because it would be Radiohead, and it would be For Carmel Please. That would be my go-to.
I love that song. That's a good one.
Cool. All right, so now we got those non-counters out. There were fouls. They didn't go through the hoop. I don't know. If you were sitting on a bench, you know, kind of like Forrest Gump, and someone comes down and sits next to you, and you're going to start up a conversation, and you turn, and it is your musical idol, and they say to you, you can ask me one question only. Who are you sitting next to, and what question are you asking them?
Wow.
Whoa.
I immediately think
How
of
do you
Eddie
narrow
Van
that
Halen
down?
for me. Yeah, I'd have to ask him how he does the flutter. I've never been able to get the flutter picking just right that he does. I would love to see it up close.
I'm stumped on that one.
It's a hard one. I guess the first one that comes to mind for me would be David Bowie. There'd be so many others though, but having to narrow it down is hard. So I guess if I have to, say Bowie, because that's the first one I thought of. What question? What his biggest advice for good stage presence would be. Never got a chance to see him live, but all the videos I've seen, he just had something magical on stage.
The other two are not going. You can't.
I
keep
have no
talking,
idea.
pussy.
Next.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be talking to a stranger.
Here's the thing, though. If you don't answer questions, that means I have to ask more questions.
Oh, jeez.
My problem is that I try to avoid eye contact with strangers at all costs, so I might not even recognize
So you won't know
that
who
the
it
person
is.
was sitting next to me.
He's already met his idol. He didn't know.
Probably.
I will let
Anyway.
you out of this one.
Pass.
But
Yeah.
that means you have to 100%
box
answer the
thing,
next one. All right, so I'm looking at the Black Sun Drive album cover, and I see the road, and it makes me think of this question I ask all the time. So you're standing at the crossroads where Robert Johnson supposedly stood and had his conversation with the devil. If you're at that same crossroads, the devil shows up. What are you trying to trade the devil for your soul?
Huh.
So you should ask the last one, or answer the last one.
You're gonna have to pass me on this one too.
Like, oh no, my internet went out.
Yeah, right. I'll be right back. Skip. There's a reason why I hide behind the
skills?
drums.
Are we talking? Do we have to narrow this down in any way, or is it going to
No,
be?
it can be anything. One person told me that they were going to trade their soul for the devil's soul so that they could do whatever they wanted. I was like, okay.
I'd settle for just financial security. I don't ever want to think about paying a bill again. I would easily sell my soul for that.
I'm tired of aching. My body's always hurting.
Yeah, that's starting, and I'm not liking it. Anybody else? It could be musically, it could be anything. Or you could pass.
I think it'd be cool to be like Robert Johnson and one of the greatest guitar players ever. That'd be pretty cool.
Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would be worth trading my soul for any price.
I get that answer a lot too.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to tweak
I
the
think my
question.
grandmother would be mad at me if I said anything else.
So I'm going to tweak the question for you. And what is something that you're striving for musically that you haven't attained yet, that you really want?
Perfection. I will always strive to be better and better. Increase my range in particular. I know when I was a kid and I first heard about the supposed 8-octave range of Freddie Mercury, I was like, all right, let's do that shit. Let's see how much of a vocal range that I can do and how many different techniques I can manage to sort of weave between, and incorporate into my toolbox of things that I can draw from.
See, I told you I wasn't going to talk about my son or my daughters, and you just triggered something. So my son is 14, so his voice has changed.
Mhm.
And now And all three of my kids play instruments, and they all sing. And now that his voice has changed, he's trying to see how the lowest note that he can hit and the highest note he can hit. And he sits like he's probably doing it in there right now. He just starts working his way down. I'm going, oh, shut your door. So yeah, he did surprise the choir director at church the other day because she was playing something high and he sang it high. And it was funny because she actually stopped and went, "Oh my God," in church. But okay, that's enough of my kids' stories. So I hit you with 2 hard questions, and now I feel bad, but not enough to not ask you another hard one later. But this one should be easy for you. So I told you that we're going to play both Black Sun Drive and Highway, and you can pick one of them or talk about both of them. But this is like your MTV VH1 storytellers moment, where you can tell us about the song or the recording process or whatever you want that's related to those songs.
Yeah. Anybody?
I think let's talk about Highway. But I guess I'd start off by saying we tend to write a lot of our songs, and this one was definitely one of them, by jamming at practice in between other songs that we do. And sometimes, Regis will come out with a riff that's really awesome, or actually, I think that's how most of it tends to start. And then things just kind of progress from there. Wayne and Regis are really in sync, so it's always interesting to watch the two of them play off each other. And then, yeah, it just kind of came about like that with, I think it was, I can't remember if it was a verse or the chorus that we were jamming on at first at practice. But yeah, just a lot of our songs just kind of tumble out of us that way during practice time.
Anybody want to add to that?
Yeah, it's actually really neat and really organic. We jam on some stuff, and then Jahela will start noodling with some melody things. And we record a lot of our practices too, so we can go back and pick out some of those things. And then we have some recording rigs, Jahela and myself, so we can go, and what she does a lot of times is cut and paste some of the stuff that I played. Even one of the songs is really it was me just bringing my guitar up to tune, but she cut it into a guitar part, and so we made that one the guitar part. So yeah, it just became part of the song, and it's just really neat that we all contribute like bits and pieces, and then maybe I'll go home and try to do an arrangement, or we have the what we call the murder board, where we plot out the arrangements of the song, the chorus, and the verse, and how many times we repeat that, and we put post-it notes on the board to kind of work out the arrangements and things. It's a lot of fun. It's great. Sometimes I think like something's going to go a certain way, and then Jahela comes and like, hey, I put something in the Dropbox, check it out, and it's like, oh, that went somewhere completely different, but it's super cool and we all dig it, and then you're just so inspired, it just makes it easy to finish a song too. So
Hey, anybody else want to add to it? Nope.
Well, I would just say that it was also interesting from my perspective, because a lot of the songs were started, since I'm the last one to the party, I had to like kind of pull it out of a file and just sit with it nonstop, like night after night, and like write a bass piece for each one. So that was kind of interesting too. But it was cool because then we would just come to practice and I'd play it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like, we got that far. All right." So yeah,
Right.
It's been fun.
So we're gonna take a couple minutes, and listen to Black Sun Drive and Highway, and we'll be right back with Drown the Deep. What's up, everyone? It's Bill from FirstAngelMedia.com, BuildAScene.com, and of course, music from the 412.com. And this is your concert calendar for weeks 2 and 3 of March 2023. We're going to start off with the 10th at Heroes Bar and Grill with their concert series open mic. It is hosted by Solomon at 7:30 p.m. in Canning. We have a Common Crown on the 10th at the Vortex in Akron, Ohio, $10. On the 10th, we gave away tickets to this one. Drusky Entertainment and Jurgles presents The Lax. $26 to $36 will get you in. 6 p.m. start time. On the 11th, Howling Giant, Horse Burner, Limousine Beach, Sunshine Spaz. 7:30 p.m. start time, $15. Squirrel Hill Sports Bar. On the 11th, Moondogs presents Billy Price, 7 p.m., $15. On the 11th as well, we have the Bridge Music Bar featuring Dinner Bell Road, Zach Revito and the Rust Belt Rhythm, Noble Hops. That's 8 p.m., $10. At the Blue Goose Saloon, 8 p.m. on the 11th, we have Dominic. No cover will get you in, so free. On the 17th, live Irish and Scottish bagpipes for your St. Patrick's Day at Squirrel Hill Sports Bar, 7:30 p.m. On the 18th, we have the Fabulous Blues Brothers Show Band and Review at Rivers Casino, 9 p.m. and no cover. Skip ahead to July 21st for Rock for Life 24 at Paradise Park in Cowansville. At 5 p.m., Doug Carnahan. 6 p.m., Terry Lee Spencer. 7 p.m., Unbroken Soul. 8 p.m., Blood Union. 9 p.m., Silk 9. And 10 p.m., A Common Crown. On Saturday, July 22nd, at that Rock for Life 24 show, 1 p.m., Shag Dog Melon Head. 2 p.m., Noble Hops. 3 p.m., The Villain. 4 p.m., Parabellum. 5 p.m., Amber Alexis. 6 p.m., The Borstal Boys. 7 p.m., Flashback. 8 p.m., Black Ridge. 9 p.m., Big House Beat. And 10 p.m., your headliners, Skell. $25 will get you in for bands and camping. There will be vendors and concessions, and you can find out more at rockforlifeconcert.com. The rock festival that I'm going to talk about next is the Upstage Music Fest. It is at 5615 Park Street, Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Friday, 8/11/23. Will feature Public Execution, Video Massacre, Past to Glory, Confessions, Casey Becker, A Starlight Gray, Endbringer, Trainwrecked, The Snipped, Heartsick, Assault on Fifth, Debrained, Age of Ruin, Cemented in Fear, Preveller, and on Saturday the 12th of August, Path of the Flood, Place Blame, Suburban Downgrade, Samara, Negative 13, Back to Life, The Filthy Lowdown, Human Animal, Orlando Furioso, Silence Equals Death, Idle Minds Extinguish, The Code, Dog of War, Brace for Impact, Scarfold, Strength for a Reason, Concrete Ties, The Take, Four in the Chamber, Sick of It All, Life of Agony. Make sure you check us out on our Facebook page, Music from the 412, for more ticket giveaways and much more. Check out musicfromthe412.com to watch our original content as well as our amazing unsigned music videos sent in by you that we are streaming. Don't forget to head to musicfromthe412.com/submissions to get your videos, songs, and concerts onto our TV and radio stations. My name is Bill, and this has been your concert calendar for weeks 2 and 3 of March 2023. Make sure to send us more concert information, more music, and more videos. I will see you next time right here on musicfromthe412.com. Oh yeah, so a little behind the scenes for you. That was my first time ever using a teleprompter, and I was reading faster than teleprompter, which is why my cadence was so off, because I had to keep stopping and waiting for it to catch up. I'm working on it. That's the fourth one I've done.
Nice.
And that was a long one, and that was like take 20. And I was like, that's it. That it has to be this one.
That's tough. I'm sure you practice it's all fine until you go live, and then it just.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, for those of you on the video, you got to see the concert calendar. Some of those shows, if you're watching it after the live, are going to already be in the past, but a lot of them are still in the future. So make sure you check them out and go to musicfromthe412.com. There are a ton more on there because I've added probably 50 in the past 3 days to the website. Any bands that are out there that want to possibly be on that segment, you just go to the website, click on concerts, and there's a submit button. It's that easy. Okay, now we get that advertising stuff out of the way. So those of you that are listening on the podcast, you just got to hear Highway and Black Sun Drive by Drown the Deep. They are hanging out with me for a little bit longer. I have asked more than 3 questions already, but we're going to keep going. So up next, I'm going to go ahead and play the question that Brian had for you guys from the last episode, which isn't a surprise because you listened, but the listeners will not have heard it already. So give me 1 second. There it is. Okay. And then when he's done asking, you can jump right in. Okay. So Drown the Deep, who I have seen live.
Okay.
They're a very, very good hard rock band and female fronted, and I believe that's going to lead into your question.
You're 100% correct. So I watched some of their videos on YouTube, and they have a very powerful presence, a very powerful female singer. And so I'm in a band that has a female singer as well, 2 bands. And so it's always curious to me. So my question is, how does having a female singer influence the band's songwriting and the sound of the band?
Okay, so Drown the Deep, who I have seen live.
Okay.
I forgot to turn the loop off. Too many buttons over here.
So we're ready? Oh, did we lose you?
Give it a moment. Should be better now. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so I'll edit that out and post. Go ahead and start your answer over again if you started it.
I could go. No, I mean, when we're kind of writing some of the songs, I think about, Jahela's voice is really a highlight of the band. So I usually try to think of something that I would really showcase her ability to both sing and scream. We all really kind of like a lot of the screaming parts she does too, and with the fry vocals and those kind of things. So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm always inspired by. So she can kind of do her thing. I think it's pretty cool. And it really kind of, I think people will always, I think you even heard, people are always really kind of surprised how strong Jahela comes out of the gate. Screaming and rocking and, and singing as well. That's what we always hear too. So I definitely kind of like to try to showcase that with our music too.
Anybody else want to add to it? Are you good with that answer?
Anybody else? I know for me, I
What
don't.
else do you guys have to say?
I don't really think it's just the band. It's like it doesn't come into play for me that like it's female versus anything else. It's just I think because Jahela is so powerful, and then with only one guitar and then playing the way Reach does, he's up front. So I feel like my job is just to kind of sit in the background, fill it in, and don't get in the way.
That's it.
It's not necessarily female versus male more than it is they're clearly out front. It's just so you got to just don't step on any feet.
Yeah, she's definitely the highlight though. Her lyrics are powerful
Yeah.
and her voice is tremendous. I think we all have a certain style the way we all play, but her voice, it's amazing. And the words she comes up with, it's awesome. It's impressive.
You guys are making me blush over here. Just try to do my best. Got to keep up with you guys. Got a lot of talent in this band. For me, I would say, it's not so much a female versus male thing for me because I'm a woman. This is what I've always been. It's me being me. But I would say lyrically, how does it influence the sound and the lyrics? So I guess sound wise, I would say since we're in a harder genre, there is sort of that work twice as hard for half the respect thing. I want to come out strong and I want to be the best I can be and try to attain perfection because there's a lot of focus. There's a lot of people that look at it as, oh, it's a woman at the front of this band, and they don't necessarily expect. They have certain pre-expectations, I would say, that they may bring to what that means we are, and I like to try to defy those. But I also feel like there are certain things that I can say, emotions that I can tap into, or storylines that I can convey that I can sort of play with ambiguity on, or I can delve into that. I don't know if I would say, I don't know exactly how I would say that's different from when a guy does it, but my own bent. I don't know. But for example, with our song Rapture, I would say that one, it's not one of the ones being played tonight, but it's one of the tracks on our album. We've had some very interesting thoughts come through and interpretations of what that means because it's a woman singing the lyrics, which has been interesting for us because we know what it meant when we wrote it. So it's interesting for us to hear the way people take it, but we also love the fact that art is what it needs to be for people. And that's a really important factor of it as well.
Has anyone actually gotten what it's written about?
Nope.
Yeah,
I don't think they will.
there's no way.
Or
But yeah, it was cool. I had the idea for a song, and I thought of myself singing it from a man's perspective. But it's even cooler when Jahela's like, when her and I were talking about this, was kind of early on. I had this idea for this song, and it was cool. She's like, well, a woman singing would be even more kind of like an enigma. It'd be really kind of interesting if a woman sang these vocals. So that'd be cool when more people get to hear it. But there's a lot of people. The song stands out in our set because it's like one of our heaviest songs. So a lot of people already have a lot of requests. They can't wait to check it out on the record. Anytime we release a song, it's like, is it Rapture? It's like, no, you have to wait for that.
Have you ever heard of the band Big House Pete?
No.
Okay, so they are kind of comedy rock, and you're going to want to check them out later. But the lead singer and guitarist's name is Paul, and they have a song called Blue Rain. And he was at a bar, and the song was in the jukebox, and somebody was playing it, and they were talking. It's a really really mellow and pretty song, and the people at the bar were trying to figure out what it was about, and he told them what it was about, and nowhere near close. It is about being in an airplane and the plane dumping its blue water on your ex-wife's house. and it completely ruined it for me. It is such a pretty song, and now I know what it's about, and I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about too, is like, it's cool and Jahela's great with words, which I'm not. So it's awesome that she's kind of a wealth of lyrics and melody and things. But as we talked about, the lyrics should be a little bit, they should leave enough room for interpretation so people can bring whatever they want to it. And it's cool if somebody brings something completely different than what we intended. That's awesome. It's really cool if people get some, but yeah, it almost ruins it, right? Like, you're like, I really like this song. I really don't want to know what it's about, or we don't want to know what Drown the Deep means. It means to, I know myself. I think I know what it means. And, yeah, it almost kind of ruins it sometimes when you find out what the real meaning is.
You definitely just. I'm gonna get you guys to. They have a track called "If Sheep Could Shave." They have another one called "Show the Ho the Dough." But it's like SHODO. It doesn't. It's not a word, but you hear what it sounds like. And a few others like Ghetto Bird, and you have to check them out. Or watch the video. Oh, I'm completely blanking on the name of that one now. I'm gonna find a video and send it to you guys. That one in particular. Why can't I think what it's called? That's terrible. It's hilarious. But anyway, you guys are leaving. This is gonna be your last hard question, I promise. You're leaving one of your gigs, and there is a DeLorean sitting there with its door open, and in the back is a flux capacitor, so you can hop in and take it anywhere in time. Where are you going, and what band are you hanging out with while you're there?
That's easy for me. I'm going to see the Doors, so hanging out with Jim Morrison, see what's in his head.
That might ruin it for you too.
I'll take my chances.
Anybody else? You.
Anybody?
I would go 1967 Monterey Pop Festival, Jimi Hendrix. That would be my go-to.
That was my answer. Me and they are going together.
Then we can.
That's the exact thing I was going to say.
Well, that means one of you gets to say that line about where we're going. We don't need any roads. All right. So, what do you guys have coming up next? Don't forget to mention your CD release.
We've got our first out-of-state gig on March 19th. We're heading to Cleveland. We're playing at the Foundry Concert Club with Titans in Time, Faith in Failure, and Hybrid Nation. Then April 1st, we have our album release party right here in Pittsburgh at the Bridge. April, I forget the date. It's a later weekend in April, is the Brutal Weekend at the Subalpine, and we'll be playing that one. Have some awesome bands coming in from out of town, including Storms Within, Faith and Failure, as well as some local bands as well. There's so much. We're opening for OTEP at the end of May. We're also opening for Cold at the end of May. Yeah, bunch of stuff coming up. And everything's on our website and on a pinned post on Facebook. So as we add more shows, we update our lists. Any tickets that we have pre-sales for, we have for sale on our website. Really appreciate everyone who buys directly from us. It's a huge help when we've got that going. It's how us small bands make a little bit of an impact and show people we can bring people to our shows. So it's incredibly appreciated.
All right, so I have Facebook and Linktree down below you, but where else can people find you online and get a hold of that new album?
Linktree will take you everywhere, but our album is out on all major streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, everything. Or I should say Black Sun Drive, the single is out now. The rest will be out. We're on Facebook, Instagram, we're on TikTok. We're bad at that, but we're on there. We're trying to get better at the social media thing. It's a whole nother job in and of itself, as I'm sure you know, yeah. It's a lot of work. It's got to look effortless, and it's a lot of work to look effortless.
I do not have a TikTok because I have my own stuff that I'm doing, but I also do music from 412. I do some First Angel Media. I have like 60 websites that I maintain, so I'm doing a lot of theirs. So yeah, no TikTok.
Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, our website. I think that pretty much covers it. And all major streaming platforms. So yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for your time.
I almost forgot. You have a question for the next guest.
Oh, we do. Yes. So our question, we looked up a little bit of Mark's stuff. I don't want to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to.
I think it's
having a name that people often put, guess on. I don't get upset by it, but I understand that. But yeah, our question for Mark would be, looking at his stuff, saw he's really lyrically driven as well. The question for him would be, how do you find yourself pulling new inspiration for new lyrical patterns?
Okay. See, this is the unofficial name of this podcast is that it's a chain letter. So now you have to come back and listen to the next episode to find out what Mark says.
Definitely.
See how I did that?
I see. It's good. It's the hook.
And Brian is going to have to listen to this one to see what you said. All right. So this has been episode 94 of 3 Questions and a Song. My name is Bill. With me tonight was Drown the Deep. You can find us at buildascene.com, music from the 412, First Angel Media, and Roodaroo Radio. And probably more to come. With that said, we are going to go ahead and sign off. This podcast in particular is released on the 1st and 15th of the month. So you can follow that. And PA Rock Show is every Friday. And I will see you next time.
Thanks.